Live from the brewery. Episode number 363. We're going to try this again. Episode 363 of Houston Wrestling Radio.
363.
Yep. This is Chris.
This is Scott.
Yeah. Mm.
Cheers.
Cheers, bro. Yeah, like people are going to tune in just to watch us drink. That's the next podcast we're doing.
That's the podcast later. All right, come on.
Man, so we tried recording a preview for All Out, and that went to total crap. So we're here tonight to review All Out, because apparently the given was good. There's lots to talk about. So we're going to just get right to it. Scott, my man.
Oh, man.
What is the first thing you think about when you think of All Out 2020?
I'm going to get comfortable for this one. The main thing the 2020 All Out is that I pretty much almost watched Matt Hardy die.
Oh, man. Expand. Tell them what you mean. What happened? What's going on?
Well, if you live under a rock and you don't know that Matt Hardy almost died. Matt Hardy almost died. He fought Sammy Guevara in a match. It was pretty much a last man standing match.
Mm-hmm.
And even though he almost died, he was still the last man standing, which is amazing. But they had a spot set up in the back. They lifted up one of those scissor lifts. There was 2 tables that were merch and masks. They had masks on there for 1,000 fans, even though there was still a table full of masks. That means nobody was wearing masks. And the idea was Guevara was going to spear him onto the 2 tables, but instead they overshot and he went through 1 table, and then Matt Hardy decided he wanted to headbutt the floor from at least 12 feet in the air.
12 has to be at least. Yeah.
I really thought he was dead. I was waiting for that pool of blood to start seeping out of the back of his head. He was on the ground, just his head wasn't even on the ground. That's the thing that got me the most, was his head was elevated, so he was still elevated in concrete, but he was just standing there motionless. He was white as a ghost. But somehow he passed concussion protocols, and he made it, and he wrestled. He finished the match.
Yeah. This was what, 5 minutes into the match, because they started at the
Not even 5 minutes.
This started at the entryway to the TIAA field that's connected to Daly's place, and they're already brawling. Sammy and Hardy end up there less than 5 minutes. The spot happens, and
what was your first response in your mind when you saw it happen?
One of those things that wrestling fans unfortunately get to check off the list. I wasn't there when Owen Hart fell from the ceiling. I wasn't there when Misawa got body dropped onto the back of his head. I wasn't there with Benoit or Silver King or anything. I've never seen a wrestler die live in the moment as it happened.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw Hardy, it almost looked like rigor mortis.
Uh-huh.
Like as soon as the impact, he was just numb. From that moment, I was like, "This is over, dude.
Yeah.
This whole fucking show is over."
Uh-huh.
It was awful, man. I felt for him legitimately. It was awful.
I felt for his kids more, him and his wife.
Yeah, that hit me on Wednesday. In the moment, I just see the dude in the ring, on the floor, during the match. The family stuff that doesn't pop up till at least till after the match or after the show.
Mm.
But damn, that was gross. It bounced like a damn basketball.
On concrete.
On concrete. It was not pretty. Sammy kills time while the ref figures out if he's.
She throws out the X immediately.
Yeah.
And if you watch her face, she is like,
she saw a ghost.
She wants to cry. It looks like she's about to cry because she just watched one of her colleagues and friend die, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's what it looked like. And she, and so she threw the X up. Guevara tried to kill time.
Yeah.
he even went over to him to like kind of suss the damage, and he was going to try and start, pick him up kind of thing.
Yeah.
And then the ref was like, no, don't do it. Then he walked away, and then the Doc Sam came, checked up on him, and then Hardy got up and started spaghetti.
Somehow he got up.
He started rambling about deletion and those kind of things, and he had that spaghetti walk, like his legs were noodles.
Yeah, he tried walking after like 2 steps. He fell again. He's still in character. Like the autopilot switch somehow in his brain went off, and he knew that because we've had about 72 hours or 96 hours to go to let all that sink in. In the moment, all you see is what's in front of you. You forget that this match, if Matt Hardy doesn't win, he's out of AEW.
Yes.
So in the moment, Hardy's like, I can't do this. Steve Austin got dumped on his head. They finished that shit. Triple H tore a quad. Finished that shit. Tore another quad. Finished that shit. Tore another quad. Finished that shit. So it's in that mentality of pro wrestling where until the job is done, we have to do our best to save some kind of face and just push the story forward. The show must go on.
Yeah.
And then they stopped the match. I heard a bell ring. They stopped the match.
The match was done.
The match was done. Hardy was gone. The medic team took
no
them.
contest. They didn't say Sammy won. They didn't say Matt won. It literally, they threw up the X. The bell rang.
That was it.
So
we thought.
They cut to the commentators.
Yeah.
And you saw JR and Shivani and Excalibur talking about how severe it was and how they were kind of, it was almost, I don't think it was as reminiscent as like JR and Jerry when Owen died.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could tell they had seen something that they saw something they shouldn't have seen on that show. But at the same time, they also knew like, it's bad, but he's moving. He seems to be okay, kind of thing.
Yeah. He's walking.
And then they cut back to the back, and Guevara's in some room. Like, he went off. I don't know if you noticed, but he went off to some room. Like it was like a little side room. Because when Hardy started walking into the arena, they pushed Guevara out of the room. And then they just did the spot, the main spot, which was the finish, which was them climbing up to the side of they pretty much did the Shane McMahon special.
Yeah, they climb up a truss on the side of the entrance ramp. Not that high. You could tell Hardy's still like... Oh,
he barely could go.
He's clawing his way up.
There's at one point, Guevara lifts him up to the next rung of the tower that they're going.
They do the one spot, King Cancun. Sammy falls through the little pyro box.
10 count.
10 count. Sammy's done.
Somehow Hardy won.
Yeah. And... how much of the pay-per-view were you invested in after that?
Honestly, it checked me out for sure. I mean, that was
and this was in the first hour.
This is the third match, third, maybe fourth match.
Yeah,
we still had.
We still had title matches.
We still had 3 hours of the show because it was a 4-hour show.
Yeah,
we still had close to 3.5 hours of this show left. Yeah, it kind of threw me out. Kind of threw me out of a loop. It put a little stink on the entire show that I was already not really interested fully in. If we had posted the
pre-show, if that episode would have gone up,
if our previous episode had worked out, you would have heard our reviews or preview. But
our preview episode, our unrecorded preview episode, this was the least anticipated all AEW pay-per-view. Out of all the pay-per-views so far up to this point, including All In. This was the one we were looking forward to the least. Yeah. We weren't saying it was shit, but we were at 6s, 6.5s.
Yeah.
For a company that we normally throw 8s, 9s, and 10s out like it's freaking candy on Halloween, What do you think was more egregious? The injury or the fact that they finished the match?
Man. The match should never have happened. Should have never continued. As soon as you could tell Matt was so out of it. Anybody who, no matter what, if you're a movie star, and your stunt guy falls and hits his head, they pull cut and then they probably cut for the day, and they're not going to make him get
Work
up and
again.
do it again.
At least not that day.
No.
Hit the showers, get some ice, have a beer.
See
our chiropractor.
Certain situations with soccer teams, like if there's a head knock, you might
You're
not.
done so.
If it's severe and they have a concussion protocol too, and most of the times within the next 5 minutes you're gone. You're subbed out. I mean, it's all on Matt Hardy, but they should have stopped. They should have just stopped the entire match. There should have been security or whatever they would have to have done to stop Matt from being Matt Hardy. Because, he was the one that got up and they asked him the right questions and he was able to answer the right way for them to even think about. It rubbed me the wrong way. And it rubbed the internet the wrong way, too.
Ooh, the internet was
This is
strike one.
This is definitely one of the biggest things that AEW has
mishandled
for sure.
Oh, mishandled is a clean way is a clean term. We could that's a fuck up on the same level of a big WWE fuck up. It's a fuck up. It's not a mishandling. They fucked that up.
Yeah,
they risked Matt's life for an extra 3 minutes. But that was really unnecessary.
Yeah, exactly. The thing is, like, we don't know. That match could have been another 10 minutes long. We don't know how long.
Or 20, yeah.
Yeah, we don't know what the full extent of the match was going to be, but still, like.
Remember, this feud's been building since before Stadium Stampede. So this is a good 3 months worth of story building up to this match.
Yeah.
And for it to happen after 90 seconds or 120 seconds because somebody got concussed bad, it's.
Yeah. It's rough. It's rough.
In hindsight, man, you could have done. And I don't want to downplay the injury. This is just hindsight after what happened. That could have been a blessing in disguise. You could have let Matt heal, take his time to heal, 3 months, 6 months, anything, whatever. You could have easily, whenever Matt's completely healthy and ready to go, you could have brought him back to television. That Sammy did not beat Matt. Matt beat Matt. You could have kept shitty story is better than his safety or lack of safety. You could have easily you have Saturday's pay-per-view, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You have 4 days if you were to have just completely stopped the match and left it up in the air. No announcement, no contest, no winner by knockout, nothing. Just no answer. Just leave it up in the air. You had 4 days to come up with something to either keep the story going or to kill it without having to risk Matt Hardy further endangering himself in the state that he was in after he took that fall.
Yeah, I guess they should have just they should have just stopped. Plain and simple, Matt Hardy. You should.
Yeah.
And Matt Hardy's a performer. He's been wrestling for 20 plus years now. Yeah. He knows that he knows he can go.
He's wrestled in 4 decades. 90s, 0s, 10s, and 20s.
Okay. Whatever.
We did that math. We were watching the show because
that was
because Dustin had that shirt of 5 decades Dustin. And shit. It's like, nah.
So, do you want to talk about Wednesday? What about Matt? We'll just splice it in there.
Sure. Wednesday, Matt comes out.
So 4 days afterwards, right? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Yeah, 4 days after literally almost dying in front of us on on pay-per-view, he comes out. He looks good.
Looks fine.
He looks
happy.
Yeah, yeah. And he's thanking the crowd. He doesn't really say if he's how bad it is.
He says that he's going to recover.
Yeah, he doesn't. He's going to make a full recovery, but he doesn't say I've got a grade 3 concussion.
I cracked my skull,
or I got brain. What is it called?
Aneurysm.
Aneurysm or anything like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but and you're like, okay, thank the Lord that Matt Hardy survived. Right? He's alive. He's on TV. He's not wrestling. We're not getting Matt Hardy for a while, right? We can't. There's no way. If he's on Dynamite next week.
Oh, fuck that.
You know, he's not going to be. I give him a month. He'll come back maybe in a month.
Is Wednesday strike 2?
With what?
With the way they handled Matt. He could have easily put something on Twitter, put a video, but no. AEW had to have him, or Matt made the decision because WWE don't make those decisions.
I think Matt made the decision.
Is that the right call to have the perception, at least in my opinion, have the perception that, oh, we're gonna strike while the iron's hot. Let's get Matt on our television so he can get ratings.
I would have been fine with him sitting at home, like a pre-recorded, and you can put all the bells and whistles. You can send the entire production team there and have it doesn't have to be like him recording on a phone.
Yeah, but
it's a positive thing to see Matt Hardy on TV 4 days after what you saw him go through.
Oh yeah.
But did it have to be in the ring? No. But that's Hardy being shown that can't kill Matt Hardy.
Stronger than that. Living the gimmick, huh?
He's literally living the gimmick. And it's another great way to sell more t-shirts because people are going to buy the Matt Hardy t-shirt that says, what does it say? Stronger than death?
Yeah.
So it's not a strike for me. It was rough seeing his wife. His wife looked mad at first.
Yeah.
She was like kind of shaking her head, and they had their kid,
Barty?
Yeah, his name's Bartholomew.
Yeah.
But Barty Hardy, Jesus Christ, dude.
Hardy.
And the other kid's called Wolfgang.
Yeah.
Like, God damn. All right, whatever, Matt. Whatever.
The first one was Maxwell. You could see how far they were going to go with this shit.
You could have just called him Matt Jr. Matthew Jr. But yeah, it's good that I'm glad that they're. Why are you sitting on here? I'm glad that I'm glad that he's at least okay for now. Like there's no lingering so far.
So bad things normally come in threes, bruh.
Yeah.
So let's lighten up the mood a little bit. We'll take the viewers and the listeners back to Saturday. Your neighbor's over, Patrick. Yes. You know, I don't know how much wrestling he watches, but I don't want him to feel alienated when we have conversations about what's on the television. Yeah. So I like to fill him in every now and then on the goings-on of certain people.
When my neighbor Patrick, he does not watch wrestling at all. I mean, he knows like old school wrestling, but he doesn't watch it. But on Wednesdays, you know, if he's at home and I'm watching if I watch Dynamite, he'll come in and we'll drink a couple of beers and he'll watch it. And you know, it's a good chance.
He's open.
Yeah, he's open to it.
Yeah. So
he came home on Saturday and was like, "Hey, what are you guys doing?" I said, "We're watching wrestling." So it's fun to watch. You know, it's like when you take a girl or if you have a dude that doesn't watch wrestling and you're into wrestling, whatever. If you take a girl to watch wrestling, they try and be involved but they don't get it. And it's also, I always think when you try and show somebody wrestling that doesn't watch wrestling, you always get them when wrestling is the weirdest.
Yeah.
You know, like, so we just had Hardy almost die. That's not something that happens every week. And then we had a battle royale.
Oh, you knew where I was going with this.
I knew. So AEW did the casino battle royale, which is it's so stupid. I'm sorry.
What?
The battle royale is fucking
Shut
stupid.
Your face.
It makes no sense.
The rules aren't that hard, bro. This is the king of the mountain.
I know, but it doesn't make it.
It's 21 people.
I know, but still, no. It's blocks of 5. They don't do. There's no like. No one gets eliminated, so there's just a bunch of bodies in there. Like nobody looks good, nobody looks strong.
Because there's too many people in the ring at once.
There was a bunch of. It's like the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
And I think it was Jim
on crack.
It was like Jim Cornette who mentioned like their casino battle royals are almost like that Royal Rumble when Austin won it, where there was only like maybe 5 or 6 big guys, but the rest were like, you know,
Mick Foley and Mankind.
It was
Dude Love.
The year that Mick Foley did all 3. Then there was like the fucking Aces and Eights group. Or DOA, those kind of people. It's like
you knew it was either Austin or The Rock.
Exactly. Just like this one, you knew it was unless the only way, and we're gonna get into this, and the The only way you would get anything that would be a bit different would be if number 21 was Rusev, Amira.
Mm-hmm.
That would have thrown a wrench in it. But as soon as I knew immediately who was going to win.
Oh yeah,
like even
21, I knew who
even
won.
before that, I knew there's too many guys in there that aren't going to do it. So it's got to be one person.
Yeah.
So anyway,
21. Who's 21?
It is, if it's not Matt Seidel himself. Matt Seidel, formerly known as Evan Bourne.
Formerly known as Matt Seidel.
Yeah.
I tell your friend Patrick is like, bro, you might not like this guy, but he has a beautiful, beautiful shooting star press. You have to see it. What's the first thing the fucker does? He goes up to the top rope. He goes with a shooting star press. What?
Yeah, he fucks up.
All of us. Trav was also here. Old man Trav left the house for us that Saturday. We were all laughing our fucking asses off. And at that point, I checked out of the Battle Royal.
That was what did it for you? Not the...
I forgot the Battle Royal. I was still in the rest of the pay-per-view.
Just the Battle Royal, right?
That fucking flop, man.
It was his debut. The first thing he's ever done in AEW. The first thing he's done on TV. Because he was in Impact. He was in Ring of Honor. But those shows, they don't count, right? They're not on TV all the time. They don't have all the channels. They're not on everybody's TV. This is live, like it's
This is your biggest show other than outside of WWE. This is the biggest platform.
So a lot of people will probably be like, "Holy shit, is that Evan Bourne? I haven't seen him in years."
He looks great.
He looks, and he is in great shape. And yeah, he fucked up. He fucked up in the first thing he's ever done, which is what it's great. Telling Chris is over here telling my neighbor that this guy's got one of the best looking shooting star presses, and then literally less than a second later he's fucked up.
You read the details afterwards and you gotta feel bad for the guy. It's 117 degrees with humidity.
Yeah.
Outdoors in a pavilion Saturday night in Jacksonville, Florida. People are sweating all over the goddamn thing. And it just happenstance. The moment that you make your biggest impact, you only get one chance to make a first impression.
Oh, and he did it though.
We're gonna remember that for a long time. Then again, that's probably all we're gonna remember. Did you see him on Dark on Tuesday?
No.
Did you see him on Dynamite on Wednesday?
No.
It was fun.
That's one of those things that if this was WWE, that would be his gimmick. He would be the guy that fucks up his finishing move, or he's always fucking up like that. Mm-hmm. Just like
Titus,
just that became his gimmick, and that's what WWE did. They would pound it in there and be like, "Yo, man, he just needs to join the Dark Order and he'll be fine."
Hey, we got a match for you, kid.
Paisley, come over here.
So since we're talking about the Battle Royal, did the right person win?
Yes.
Are you ready for it? Moxley against Murderhawk, October 14th, the anniversary show of Dynamite.
I honestly could care less because it's Moxley. We've had this discussion before. Newest preview. I don't care for Moxley. It's going to be a hardcore garbage wrestling, tables, chairs, outside, inside. I'm sure there'll be some form of interference.
I don't normally like to be that guy, but I made it clear a couple of times that Moxley's been falling back to his CZW stuff. I liked their match in New Japan at Wrestle Kingdom in January, but that's kind of going to be the same thing because it was a lot of outside wrestling, a lot of garbage brawling, and it ended with Archer getting paradigm shifted into the table. So that's pretty much what I'm expecting, unless Archer wins, which I'm not sure if. I'm sorry, dude. Archer's got potential. You're not gonna hear me ever say one bad thing about Jake Roberts, Jake Roberts in the ring.
I did like his promo on Wednesday.
It's awesome
in the rain.
In the rain.
Although he kept saying everyone's gonna get wet, and I was like really uncomfortable.
I was waiting for Cardi B.
I was waiting. It's just so awkward to hear him saying everyone's gonna be wet. I was like, oh man, stop, Jake, stop.
Today, September 10th, 2010, Lance Archer is not a main event guy for AEW. He's not a guy that casuals are gonna be like, oh, Lance Archer. Let me tune into AEW to watch that.
Yeah,
I don't see Archer as the guy yet.
I don't think
TNT title, probably
yes.
At least to start with.
Yeah,
get comfortable with the character, get Jake out there, have more of the old fans. Oh, he's the guy that with Jake Roberts. I like Jake Roberts. He's got to be something like Jake Roberts. Slowly get him there. I'm already predicting I got Moxley winning it, retaining.
Oh yeah,
and see who's next.
Plus, right now with Mox being number one on the pro wrestlers, he's the number one wrestler in the world, kind of thing.
PWI 500.
Yeah, you can't take it off of him. As much as I would like to, you can't. Plus, who's Lance Archer going to go against?
Yeah,
Darby Allin.
Right. Right now, AEW is still establishing faces and heels. They're not at that point where they're gonna just have two bad guys wrestle each other.
They don't have
just for
faces
rankings.
and heels. They don't do that.
Sure.
Yeah.
What's Darby?
Yeah, but
what's Penta?
Yeah, but they're all like
what's Orange?
Everyone's pretty much like a D-bag
fan favorite.
Even the bad guys are cool. The good guys are assholes.
But are they cool because they're telling us they're cool, or because we're making the decision that they're cool? Yeah. I'm gonna always cheer Pentagon and Phoenix, no matter how many people's heads they cut off.
Me too.
And that's Exhibit A and B right there.
Yeah.
So the bad things come in threes. We mentioned him earlier. Spoiler alert: Moxley defeated MJF, which isn't the bad number 3. What is it that these stupid fucking fans want to come out and like interact with wrestlers during their entrance? This is not the first time that a fan tried to walk with Jon Moxley into the ring.
Yeah, that was it. You don't see it on camera as much. You see someone trying to grab, but
you might see a quick edit here and there.
But like, it's the same thing with like the Thunderdome and WWE. Like WWE is giving access to fans who they haven't had access for months.
To do stupid
shit. Finally being able to do something. It might not be inside the arena, but at least it's doing something. And you got people doing KKK stuff or putting up Benoit or
Omega,
all these kind of things. So then now it's like you literally have 1,000 fans, right? Is that how much was in there?
Probably
for AEW. Yeah. It's the first. Well, they've done a couple.
They've done a couple of Dynamites, but still, this is their first big pay-per-view. This is the
and you get somebody to fuck it up for everybody. Because if people are going to do that, then they're going to be like, "Look, we're just going to go back to the way it was."
Yeah,
it's stupid. But it's also Moxley doing that stupid entrance. What? If there was a crowd, sure, let him come in through the crowd. He did it with the Shield, but there's nobody there.
He should be coming through the side.
You just see him walking through an empty arena. It looks fucking stupid.
With a couple of clowns with their masks in front, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, woo, and if they put people there, woo. If they put people there, it looks staged.
Yeah.
Because you can't have a group of people standing around at a open, Just come through the side, just really quick on the side. Plus, it takes them like 10 minutes to come into the arena.
Yeah.
So whatever. So if somebody tries to grab. That was actually not. That's not the main thing. That's not the third thing.
What is the third thing then?
The third thing is good old JR.
God damn it, Ricky Bobby.
The good old JR.
What kind of verbal diarrhea did JR? Whose name did he mispronounce this time?
Nobody's.
What?
This time, he. What's her name? The Dark Order chick.
Tainara Conti?
Yeah.
Anna Jay.
Anna Jay was being carried away by one of the Dark Orders, and JR said...
on Twitter, right?
No, he said it on
the air?
On air.
He said it on air.
He said that... is it just me, or something about a war. Like he pretty much wanted her to pop out of her top.
Oh, hoping for a wardrobe malfunction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hoping for a wardrobe malfunction, or is it just me thinking ahead or something like that? Which, if Jerry Lawler said that,
woo,
he would have been in trouble. But it would have been like us, that's Jerry. But
yeah,
we live in a world where you can't say things like that. But JR just doesn't give a fuck anymore. Really, JR doesn't care. That the announcing that on this pay-per-view, especially, was some of the worst I've ever heard. It's almost like they were watching golf. They had no emotion, and I know a lot of people talk shit about WWE at the early stage with that Edge and Orton match, where they're going, when they're wrestling in the first match that they did.
Yeah, and
they were like, man, it sounds like they're watching golf, and they're just talking, and everyone's just really quiet. That's the same thing with AEW. Like that, those three guys just as much as Excalibur gets shit on, at least he sounds interested.
Yeah.
When someone does a move, he's like, "Oh my god!" Like he's not as intense as Morrow is.
Tope Cogilo!
But JR Shivani's cool too, but JR is just like he just randomly says things. He's just like, I got barbecue.
He acts like he's on his podcast where he could just let it go.
Yeah, and he can't.
Yeah. Well, technically, even on your podcast now, you can't let it go without some kind of repercussion. But at least it's his podcast. He owns that. It's up to him whatever he wants to do.
If it was up to me, I would just. You can't see. You can't even nowadays bring him out for the big shows because this was the big show, and
JR's been in the business in the company a year. He should know people's names. He should know when to not say. He should know when to not speak when the voice in his head is talking or the voice in his head is talking. We're fucking guys. Anna Jay's attractive. I mean,
yeah.
If this camera wasn't on, we'd be talking about her tits right now. But in an open forum, people are paying to watch your product. You have to treat everybody that's on that show with respect, actual respect. If there's someone that his character is an asshole, then that character is an asshole. But the human being still has to be treated like a human being.
I think it's a little messed up that he was on Dynamite last week or this week.
After all that happened, he had to apologize. He apologized on Twitter during the show, but I think he mentioned something during the show also, or was it just on Twitter?
I didn't hear that part. But again,
because they were acknowledging a lot of things that were going on Twitter, mostly the Matt Hardy shit. Because man, when they Excalibur said thank you AEW fans we're trending #1 worldwide. No, y'all ain't trending #1 worldwide because for wrestling. Y'all trending because y'all don't fucked up with Matt Hardy. Yeah. Now that we spent 20 minutes doing what we normally don't do with AEW and shit all over it.
Yeah.
Can you dig through the fog in your head and pull out any highlights?
I'm just kidding. I was like, no, I can't think of it.
Well, let's add on a little bit more. I'll add on a little bit more.
Of shitting?
Yeah, a little bit. That first half of Thunder Rosa and Hikaru Shida was bad to watch. And I noticed this a lot in women's wrestling in general, even WWE, NXT, even NWA. Most of the women that currently wrestle, it comes across too choreographed. Mm-hmm. There's not any impact in their punches. There's not any pullback. There's not any snap to their move. It's just it's not fucking.
What is it like?
It's not like Tainara, like Tay Conti on Dynamite on Wednesday when she had her match. I don't know if anybody noticed this because it's picture in picture. Chances are your head tunes out. Tainara Conti hit fucking
Nyla.
Hit Nyla with a fucking knee, bro. Hard as shit. She has legit MMA experience on her resume. That's the shit I was expecting out of Hikaru and Thunder Rosa. It picked up a little bit more once they started to get a feel for each other and doing some of the submissions. But the first 10 minutes was bad.
By the time it picked up,
it was already over.
Shida was gassed. It looked like she was gassed.
Yeah.
She couldn't pick her up. She couldn't do certain moves.
Yeah.
That was probably the longest match Shida's had on.
Again, these are women wrestling in 117-degree weather outdoors in Florida humidity. So a lot of the negativity that we're giving this show, slipping on a sweat covered rope, being gassed out 5-10 minutes in.
Yeah.
We have to roll it back a little bit. But in the moment, you're paying $50 to watch this. Mm-hmm. You're expecting elite talent.
It's literally called all elite wrestling.
From top to bottom. You're saying you're better than WWE. And this is your biggest show of the year. And this is your opportunity to prove it. And that's what we got in that moment.
I have, out of the entire show, I have 3 matches that I enjoyed. Well, really, I have 2.
What's the first one?
The first one is this match, Thunder Rosa and Cheetah.
Yeah.
I didn't mind having a slow match. It's just, like 100 degrees, 100 plus degrees. You can't make them go, And this is the first time you've seen Cheetah fight somebody that's, I don't want to say that's good, but that's an actual.
That has experience.
Because Nyla Rose is great. But she's a monster heel, so she's going to do monster moves. So Cheetah can bounce off her, and they can do power like that. When she fought...
There's no kin to her Ryu. Like, there was somebody that matched up with her well. The style matched up well.
I want to see Thunder Rosa all the time. She's great. I think she's a great wrestler. So it's like, now... And a lot of the girls in AEW... A lot of people complain that AEW doesn't have a women's division. A
solid women's division.
Because they have, a lot of wrestlers who are new
to them,
but even just new in general, but they're all indie people, and it's just so this was nice to actually see 2 established wrestlers going against each other.
Yeah,
it was a little bit slow, but I can deal with a little slowness.
It left me wanting more.
Yeah,
maybe the rematch on a cool fall night will be a whole lot better.
We're not gonna get a rematch,
but we're probably not gonna get a rematch.
We're never gonna get a rematch because
Sheeta's moving on to Nyla. Yeah. Rightfully so. That's going to be good too. Sheeta and Nyla is good. Yeah.
And like I said, it's a monster heel going up against somebody that, a good wrestler. So it's going to be, their matches are good. It's just, who comes after that? What's next? There's only, I know there's people on Dark, like women's wrestling on Dark, and they had that women's tournament. A lot of those wrestlers, you don't see them. They're not on TV.
Nah.
Dynamite doesn't count. So
you mean Dark doesn't count?
Dark doesn't count. Dynamite is,
and that's another issue that I noticed blatantly the last couple of weeks of Dynamite. The quality of the show is okay to good, sometimes very good, depending on what segment we're watching.
Yeah, it's not great.
You can easily take 2 of the matches on Dynamite. No, you can easily take 1 match from Dynamite that goes through 1 commercial break, have that as your main event on Dark, and take 1 or 2 matches from Dark that last 4 or 5 minutes and put over some new people.
Paisley.
That's not that bad. Put over some new people. On Dark, Will Hobbs has been losing to everyone. I mentioned it when we were watching the pay-per-view. He lost on Dark to Orange Cassidy in 8 seconds. So when he was being an actual badass in the Battle Royal, I'm like, all right, I can fuck with this. But Will Hobbs. But why don't we get a Will Hobbs squash match on Dynamite?
Yeah.
Why don't we get some of the new girls? Ivelisse. We love Ivelisse from from Lucha Underground. She's badass.
Yeah.
She can go. Why aren't we seeing even Diamante?
That's who was in the next to Vicky with Diamante.
Got you, Diamante. Yeah, because
it wasn't
Shaw.
Yeah, it was Diamante.
I was like, why can't we get
promo later on?
Why can't we get Diamante? Why can't we get Anna Jay? Why can't we get Anna Jay? Why can't especially if I agree that to a certain extent the women's division needs the most attention. I love Britt's character. She's still not ready to wrestle. It's obvious in that tooth and nail match. She wasn't ready. It was a fun little bit for the 12 seconds it was.
Was it?
I thought it was cool. I thought it was all right. It fit the story.
The best thing about that was
that it was over.
No. The best thing about that was Rebel.
Oh yeah, Rebel's gold.
She's my favorite.
That's your next baby face next year when she turns on Baker. That's gonna be your next baby face. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Thick chick. Always go for a thick chick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was the other match you liked?
The tag match for the titles.
FTR against Page and Omega.
Yep. There was a lot of flaws in it, but overall, the right team won.
The story played out well.
They progress the story with Omega and
Hangman.
Hangman. But yeah, just overall, this whole entire I don't know if it was just because of the Hardy thing, but the whole entire show just after the Hardy thing kind of you just went through the emotions like cool, right? What's next? Cool. Maybe it's the 100+ degree weather. Maybe it's the fact that it was 5 hours long with the hour-long pre-show and it was 3.
A legitimate update on Matt would have helped.
Well, I mean, they spread it out, and they were like during matches they'd be like he's at hospital and we're getting word, but you can't. There's no way you can get like, hey, he's because he had to go through brain scans and all these different things, and you don't get your test results right away. You can't, So, and who knows how busy the hospitals were with COVID and stuff like that. So there's probably protocols.
Ooh, damn! I didn't even think about that either.
Protocols. So like,
yeah,
the best they can say is like. He's like from what we know, he's okay.
He's alive.
He's talking.
He can feel his
he's
legs.
At the hospital.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like you just can't tell. If he could have had a cracked skull, we would never have known until he had finished.
Oh, we still won't know.
Yeah. So the tag match was good. I'm still. HWR won, but I don't think that was not the main thing about the match.
The main thing was the breakup.
Yes.
Kenny's done. He left Hangman in the ring. Kenny and the Bucks take off.
Well, Bucks don't go. Bucks stayed.
Oh, the Bucks stayed.
So
Omega left.
I think Omega
cut the promo on Dynamite.
Yeah.
He wants to.
I think we're gonna get. I think the next feud, maybe not feud, but the next after Murder Hawk, it's gonna be Omega. I think Omega and Moxley.
Heel Kenny.
I can care less, honestly.
You care less?
I don't care about Moxley. I don't care about Omega.
Okay.
So we're getting that.
So I'm putting you on the spot then. Who do you see taking the belt off of Moxley?
Oh my god. Well, I want it to be MJF, but
it still can be.
Yeah.
It still can be once this Archer stuff is done. Because the Archer title match is before Full Gear in November. So you can easily have MJF complain to the bosses saying, hey, man, he wasn't supposed to do this. He did it. So I need a rematch, something, or I get my lawyers. I had a campaign. That didn't work. Let me get lawyers. Well, He had one lawyer, and he got his ass beat by Moxley before pay-per-view.
Yeah.
But you can come back to that. So it could still be MJF. But if you think MJF's off the table, who's next to sit at the table?
Honestly, I couldn't even tell you who would be the next. I can't even think about it.
I got one name.
Who?
And I mentioned it earlier. I kind of was a little bit disappointed that it didn't happen at the Battle Royal. But All Out opened the door for the possibility. So I'm going to go up. I'm going to be the first one to say it. Nick Aldis.
It's not happening. It's not going to happen.
Nick Aldis.
It's not happening. It's not happening. We already got him versus Cody once. We're not getting anything else.
Yeah, but that was for the NWA title. That wasn't for the AEW title.
Not gonna happen. You want to see Nick Aldis versus Moxley?
Yeah.
What? Get out of here.
Yeah.
No. That they don't have a working partnership. It's not happening. No. Whoa.
Calm down, Slidell.
It's not happening. I got a heel Omega going against. I can see that. Yeah, I honestly, I don't think there's anybody on the roster that.
Man, you know what? I could have Moxley due to interference from MJF. Moxley loses the belt to Hangman, and we get Hangman versus Kenny for the title.
Eventually, we'll probably get something like that.
Because I don't think there's any. Murder Hawk's not ready. Other than that, I don't think there are any heels that are ready to take the belt off of Moxley. If MJF can't take it off, there's no way Ricky Starks is gonna. And that's another guy that's nowhere near. I like him, but he's nowhere near ready.
Brian Cage just fell off the earth
after losing to Moxley.
Yeah.
Darby's already had several title opportunities. Scorpio Sky? No, I don't see it.
No. There's just nobody built up.
Miro?
Oh God.
You did not like Miro's debut on AEW Dynamite.
Wait,
Look at the camera and tell them why.
Are we done? Are we done talking about overall? You want to finish the overall pay-per-view? You want to give it a rating? Let's just knock it out.
Overall, I gave it a 6 as an anticipation for the whole thing, and I think I got about a 5.
Yeah. Oh, the third match I liked was the main event. It was Moxley and.
I wanted to get into it, but Travis was talking me up about COVID shit because his branch was opening up, and my branch has been open for a while, and he just wanted to get some advice. And that you talk to me about work, I can get into it for like hours, bro. Yeah. And I'm hearing MJF and all that shit in the corner. I'm like, fuck, Travis, shut up.
You guys missed practically the entire match.
There were some pretty. There were actually, looking back on it, there were some positives on that show. Maybe more positives than negatives. The fucking Mimosa match was fun as shit.
Was it?
I liked it. But the negatives were too fucking heavy, man. Hardy's injury, AEW's handling of Hardy's injury, JR running his mouth, Matt Seidel's fucking flop, the stupid fan. It just it was a 5 for me. I'm glad I didn't spend money to go all the way out there. Because I was gonna. Miro, go.
It's a waste.
Why? Is he in another cuck angle? Is that it?
Oh, God, probably. Okay, the first thing that annoyed me the most out of it, the whole thing, is the whole them promoting Twitch. Because right now WWE are banning their employees. You just got to stop. Stop competing. Like I hate how AEW is like, you know, when they first started, they're like, hey, we're gonna be different. We're gonna have rankings. We're gonna do this.
And then we're at Double or Nothing where Cody breaks the fucking throne of Triple H.
But it's the exact same shit. They're literally. It froze.
Yeah, that's gonna happen a lot. I would think that the biggest fuck you to the WWE brass would be succeeding in AEW, not coming out on AEW and the first promo, your first impression to an audience member or a casual fan is, oh, here's another guy that's heartbroken because he didn't get to go all the way with his ex-girlfriend and all that shit.
So
I feel you.
The opening thing is them promoting Twitch. They did it like 3 times in that promo.
It was funny last week. I don't. Yeah.
If you watched Being the Elite, Brody Lee banned the Dark Order from using Twitch. That's funny. God. On a YouTube show that's not on TV, that's fine. You can do that kind of stuff. But when you're on live TV and you're trying to, you know, throw bombs at your competition, it's stupid. And you're not anything different. You're literally becoming like WCW. This is what all it is. It's people like in WWE.
So we're getting 83 weeks of AEW before WWE takes over again with their next star, huh?
Pretty much. That's how I see it. Instead of building your own brand, you're doing like you just said. Miro comes out. I don't know what a Miro is. You know, he's got bleach blonde hair now. You know, the first thing he says is, you know, I got the brass knuckles or brass rings.
I'm going to stick it up your ass.
Stick up your ass. And I came from a 10-year company that had a glass ceiling. Who cares, man? I don't care about it. Everyone gets burned out of jobs. Everyone gets hurt. You had, apart from Rusev's last year, he had a good career for WWE.
Yeah.
You know?
And even then, his last year, he was his most popular. Regardless of the shit that he was doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, when Moxley left, he did that podcast. That's fine. You can do a podcast. You can, but not on TV, not on a competition.
You're spending money to be a precious airtime, and you're gonna use it. I think, you know what? Now that you bring up that point, I think that's why I'm invested in the AEW guys that I'm invested in. I'm invested in Darby Allin because he's a unique character. I'm invested in
fucking. He has no history.
I'm invested in Jungle Boy because he's trying to be himself.
Because he has no history.
I'm invested in fucking Luchasaurus because he's a goddamn dinosaur.
He doesn't really have any history. He was burned in WWE too when he was there for a cup of coffee.
Yeah, and I've known him from Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
You know, we've seen him in Wrestle Circus. There's
Lucha Bros.
Butcher, you know. Blade.
If they're not a former WWE guy, like they have nothing. They have nothing.
See, it's like there's only so many people that can have the same gimmick, and when your gimmick is anti-establishment, anti-federation, anti-WWE, I'm sorry, fellas. Moxley took it.
Yeah.
The paradigm shift, Double or Nothing, his debut, his promo afterwards, done. That's it. He's the only guy that can bitch about WWE on television, on pay-per-view. Everybody else figure something out.
Yeah.
So if Miro wants to look like a bloated Eminem, that's cool. If he wants to try to rap, no problemo. If your first words are Brody coming out looking like Vince McMahon for the first couple of months with the fucking suits and shit, I was like,
I don't mind that because it also goes into the Dark Order gimmick and the
at least he masks it well.
Yeah,
he
doesn't.
If you're too upfront about it, it's like you're walking up to a girl saying, "Hey, I want to fuck you."
Yeah, in those early promos for the Dark Order, you could tell he was taking things that Vince McMahon would say
or do,
but he never said, "This is how," But to come out, you're a brand new character. You look nothing like you did in WWE. You have bleach blonde hair, like you said. You have a new name.
Your actual name, Miro.
Yeah,
Miroslav.
And also the fans. I don't know if you noticed, but like when he comes out, that some of the fans are shouting Rusev Day.
And then they changed it to Miro Day.
They finally changed it, which is fine. And I knew they would, but like, that gimmick can't be a thing. Can't be Miro Day. You can't do that gimmick anymore because it's
blatant. It's obvious. Yeah. Let go.
Do something different. And
dude, how many for all the shit that we give him in his fucking belly and performing in Sturgis? How many different fucking characters just in AEW has Chris Jericho had?
Yeah. Yeah.
The Painmaker, Le Champion, the Demigod, the Demo God.
Which the Demigod is literally a nephew to Vince too. It's another. I've been burnt by, and Jericho was never burnt by WWE.
Yeah,
he left on good terms. But now
he showed up at the fucking Raw 25.
Yeah, now he's doing this Demo God thing, and it's like
he'll move on to something else because he's quick to change.
Oh yeah, but it's just I wish they would just stop worrying about the competition.
Yeah.
Because them worrying about the competition is making them do stupid shit. And the more I watch AEW, the more I start nitpicking things. And I'm telling you, it's slowly becoming WCW. It's like how it is. It's like they get old WWE guys that got burned out and they have a chip on their shoulder and a vendetta against Vince and Triple H and those guys. And then they're doing stupid shit. Every single match has to be a hardcore or there's a table spot. In my notes, I wrote notes for AEW last. This is what I wrote. Here's my notes. Okay. Where did I put it? I got another hardcore match. Another after the match beatdown because every match has it. That's the only way they can get heat on their heels. Apparently, is if they just beat the face up. It's like, it's the same shit every week now.
For 11 months, even during the pandemic, for the first 11 months, AEW Dynamite was the show that I could just sit back and enjoy wrestling as a fan. Not as somebody that records a podcast, not someone that wants to compare AEW to all the things that WWE or NXT does. The last month or so has made me less of a fan and more of a podcaster.
Yeah, it's just now you start noticing little tweaks and stuff that it's tough, man. Like COVID's, I think COVID's fucked up a lot of things for a lot of wrestlers, a lot of companies, but AEW needs to stop trying to compete with WWE.
Yeah.
Give us an alternative. That's what we wanted. That's the whole reason why
an
AEW
alternative
started.
to WWE, not an alternative WWE.
Exactly. That's exactly. Put that on a fucking t-shirt.
I think Cornette already took it.
That's why
somebody already took it.
That's why we begged for a change. We wanted something new, and we got it. And now it's just the same shit, man. It's the same shit every week.
And that complaint on my side doesn't fall on the fact that AEW is hiring all of these WWE talents, because they hired Matt Ryder, they hired Zack Ryder, they hired Rusev, they hired fucking Tainara Conti.
Zack Ryder's only on a limited appearance.
But they've also signed Brian Cage. They've also signed Ricky Starks. They've also signed Matt Sydal. There's other talent. Well, he showed up. He showed up. Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston signed. So they're not just bringing in it. They're not only letting in WWE guys. They're bringing in anybody that they feel they can move the needle. And that's the highest since COVID. That's the highest since the pandemic started. So they're how much of that is because they're doing some things right, or how much of that is the fallout of the things they did wrong on Saturday?
Yeah, that's
with Hardy coming back for the interview with the Miro shock. Like, I'd be curious to see the breakdown on the quarter hours of what is it that moved the needle, and what was it
that was never announced. So like that was a
but if you're on Twitter or you're watching live or you got friends that aren't watching or doing something else, and oh shit, Miro fucking Rusev is on AEW, I need to tell people that don't know this. So I'm curious to see what segments moved it up, what segments brought it down.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's one of those things. Like I'm gonna keep watching it. I'm not gonna be one of those people that says I'm never gonna watch wrestling again. But
oh damn, I was just about to say that.
Something has to change with AEW, because it's getting a little stale. And it's becoming how Impact was. When Impact, the first 4 or 5 years, they did whatever the fuck they wanted. They had the King of the Mountain. They had the six-sided rings.
They would have unannounced stipulation matches on every Impact without any rhyme or reason to why it was. Yeah. Oh, it sounds like Raw and SmackDown.
But they also pushed those younger guys, and it was different. And then Hogan showed up and went back to the four-sided ring and became a Hogan show. Yeah. It's the same thing with AEW. It's like they got to stop with the table spots. They got to stop with the chair stuff.
More story, less gimmick.
Yeah,
or as long as there's story with the gimmick, best friends and proud and powerful. Got to do it for the mom.
that makes sense though. They've had a feud for the past 2 months. Yeah, it's boiling up to a match where
they're gonna fight in the
parking lot.
Yeah,
that makes sense. But they've also done some stupid shit too.
The Mimosa match made sense. The match itself might have been kind of stupid.
Okay, that makes sense.
But the story led themselves to where the end game was.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. I'll give it that.
So they just need more of that, and less of people going through shit.
Anything else on Dynamite that you wanted to mention or talk about?
Some of the things that still keep me watching AEW are moments like Tay Conti. Before her match with Nyla Rose, she signed a contract that day.
She did,
and she came out to the ring to her match, and she was crying.
And she got squashed.
And she got hurt pretty bad. Yeah. But she put up a good fight. But just genuine, like something real, stuff like that. If Rusev would have came out that way, I probably would have had the same impact. If it wasn't Rusev bitching about WWE in his first promo, I might have had the same impact.
Like, you have a chance to create something new and be something new, and the first thing that comes out of your mouth is bitching about your old employee. Like,
it's been done.
Yeah, it's been done.
Yeah. So let's talk about the old employee. Did you watch NXT on Tuesday?
I did.
What was your favorite match from NXT on Tuesday?
Cole and Balor was good. I enjoyed it for what it was. I kind of figured Balor would win.
Mm-hmm.
The cage match was cool too.
I'm torn, bro.
There was a match. There was a couple of matches in between, right? There was
Bronson Reed against Austin Theory.
Austin Theory.
That was okay.
They've gotten that feud now. I guess since Austin Theory's back in.
Yeah.
Like, I guess he got hurt, and then he also said
he had some attitude problems.
He also had that speaking out.
Yeah.
He was part of that speaking out thing that kind of went hush hush.
Yeah.
It was a decent show.
What's your match of the week? You gotta have one, bro.
Oh man, I don't even know, dude. To be honest,
I posted this up on our Facebook page, facebook.com/Houston Wrestling Radio. If you had your match of the week was blank, either A, Omega and Page against FTR from All Out, B, Finn Balor versus Adam Cole from NXT, C, the cage match, Ripley versus Martinez, D, blank. Elias, I'm torn between B and C, the NXT matches. Robert Medlin, 100% B, which is Cole Balor. Dylan Robert Howland III, Odell Beckham Jr. against toilets. It took me a minute to get that joke. Get that. So there's a football player named Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It came out over the weekend that he has a fetish for having women take a shit on his chest.
Oh, Cleveland Steamer, huh? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, dude, yeah.
I'm going to look that up. That's hilarious.
Jeff Milheims, B, Cole versus Balor. Courtney Thibodeau, A, All Out tag match.
Wow.
Jason Wynn, A, Omega, the tag match from All Out, and also the main event, Moxley versus MJF from All Out.
We can't have two match of the week, so you got to pick one of those.
Well, we've done it before, but I think I can choose my match of the week.
Okay, I got out of those, I'll give you one. After three, we'll say the same thing.
Okay.
Right?
One, two, three. Cage match.
you know.
I've seen good wrestling matches. I've not always seen A, great women's match, B, a great women's match in a cage. And here's my kicker. They did things in a cage match that I've always wanted to see. And I don't ask for a lot. Actually, I asked for very little. Number one, I asked for no one standing on the top of the cage just to die fucking off, which the girls did not do. B, these two wanted to beat the ever-loving fuck out of each other. The heel was not spending half of the match crawling to the door trying to get out. This was an actual wrestling match inside of a steel cage that neither woman wanted to get out of, and used the fact that they were inside a steel cage to actually hurt each other very badly. They didn't actually hurt themselves, but it felt like they both were really hitting each other fucking hard. Some of those spots were fucking brutal.
Okay, counterpoint. Why did they have a cage match? Why?
So Rhea Ripley's, and I'm glad you asked that. You can easily say this is the first time they wrestled. Why are they in a cage?
Yes.
The rivalry isn't Rhea versus Mercedes. Okay. The rivalry is Rhea against the Robert Stone brand.
Why did we get that match?
We kind of did, because every time Rhea Ripley wrestles somebody from the Robert Stone brand, Robert Stone has to get involved and he gets the shit beat out of him. He was in a intergender tag match on NXT one night, and Ripley beat the fuck out of him. Yeah. So this whole thing has been against the brand, and that didn't stop in the cage match when Stone tried to interfere and he wound up getting pummeled for his troubles. So that was I can kind of see where you're coming from with that.
Well, the reason
at first I was like,
ratings.
Huh?
It's ratings.
That too. Yeah.
You could say you're going to get a cage match on TV. People are going to be like, "Oh, I'm watching that."
But it also made sense that if your last show ended with an Iron Man match and there was a tie, you're starting the show with that tie. You're not saving that shit for the end of the show. You want to.
Yeah.
That match could have gone an extra 45 minutes, and you wouldn't know how long it would last because that match had to end. There had to have been a winner.
True.
So it makes sense to open that match first. And I like it when good girls main event the show. And those two girls put on a fucking show, man. Yeah, it was good.
That's her.
There's a lot more there was a lot more things that I liked in that cage match than I did from Cole Finn. It was a sound match. It was really good. I don't think I could find a flaw in it.
Yeah.
But there was more positives in the cage match for me, so I'm picking the cage match.
Okay, that's fair.
So what is it? So is that like your main anchor that you didn't see why we had to have the cage match, or was Cole Balor that much better?
I get why we had a cage match. I get it, like, you know, but it's the first time they've wrestled. Are they going to continue wrestling?
I hope so.
Then why did we get in the cage? Like, why can't we? Why did we build to that?
Interference. People getting into each other's shit, and they needed to settle it where nobody could get into it. Although Robert Stone got into it anyway.
Yeah, but that's fine with him because that's what his character is, where he interferes. Yeah. But they could easily have kept this going.
Yeah.
For a couple of months or a month or whatever. Give me 3 episodes of shenanigans. Not with them two just going at it, but
another tag match.
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah. Just, you know, maybe she needs help. Maybe she can get somebody to help. Rhea gets somebody to help. We get a tag match. It's just, again, gimmick matches on regular TV
unannounced
every week.
Well, a week's notice, yeah. You but know, every week, yeah.
Every week there's something going on where it's
can't save it for pay-per-view, huh?
Exactly. And now it's like, I mean, they can literally do whatever they want, I guess. But I mean, you know, I think Adam Cole is one of the best wrestlers in the world. I think Finn Balor is up there too. I think he's kind of dipped in not form, but just in he had such
his popularity, man. From the moment I'm calling it from the moment he got hurt in that Universal title match. Done so.
Yeah, but when he came back to NXT and he was the heel, and he like
New Japan Finn.
That was great. And then what happened? He got hurt again, or he lost, and then
COVID.
And what
is COVID because he had a feud going with Walter. That would have been a fucking massive payoff on a takeover.
Yeah,
but there's a lot of things you can't control and some things you can't. But if we're building up to Survivor Series, if Finn's the U.S. NXT champ and Walter's still the NXT UK champ, we can finally get that match. I'd probably steal the fucking show.
No,
because we're not getting a takeover War Games the night of Survivor Series anymore. They canceled that.
NXT champ.
Yeah, so it's brand versus brand.
You said the U.S.
NXT US, American NXT.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. No, because of COVID, Walter's not leaving the country. Walter's staying in Europe.
If they still was it Berlin or where's the next takeover supposed to, that they Dublin. Finn goes to Dublin. And Finn versus Walter.
That's something because
NXT's coming back. UK's coming back next week, right?
Yeah, we can talk about that.
Walter versus Dragunov. Dragunov will die, but he'll go out in the fucking blaze of glory. I want to see that.
Yeah,
that's takeover worthy right there.
It's kind of almost well, we can just get into the NXT UK in an episode today. They had 2 major announcements.
Which were?
And you don't know this.
No.
So next week is the first episode of. It's almost like a reboot. They're keeping the champions, but
well, they had some talent go out of that Me Too shit, right?
Yeah,
that Speak Out stuff.
Ligero's gone.
Travis Banks, I think, is gone.
Travis Banks gone. I don't know about Devlin. He was part of it. He was a cruiserweight champion for a while, or 205. Sorry, 205 champion. But now he lost it, and he's been over there. I don't know. So they're doing an 8-man English-style wrestling tournament for the Heritage Cup.
Okay, because I heard rumors before the whole COVID thing started that they were supposed to have like a British strong style kind of title where it's like the old school.
Yeah. So some of the rules are there's going to be 6 3-minute rounds.
Oh, this sounds like TNA already.
With 20 seconds in between rounds.
Oh, Lord. Are there judges?
No. Okay. It is a 2 out of 3 falls. So
in those 6 rounds, you have to have 2 falls to win.
And it's brackets. So we got Flash Morgan Webster. Okay.
Versus?
They haven't announced the brackets.
This is just the roster?
Yeah.
Okay.
Noam Dar.
Supernova. Okay.
My boy, Supernova. Alexander Wolf.
Oh, okay.
Imperium.
Yeah. Ooh, all right.
8 Kid
I might have seen a thing or two.
He was in the tail end of UK. I don't know where. I think he's from somewhere in Europe. Gabe Mastiff.
Oh, the Boma, Baby Vader.
Joseph Connors. Ooh, I like Joseph Connors.
I do too. But I see him and there's something missing. Like he should be a champ in NXT UK, but there's something that's missing. I don't know what it is.
Joseph Connors reminds me of like the way he looks,
like a young Pillman.
Kind of like an old school, like not. I'm not comparing him to Rick Rude, but that Rick Rude, he's got a good look. He's got
an attitude with him.
Yeah. So, and of course, Mustache Mountain, Trent Seven.
Okay, Trent Seven.
If you do the math, that's 7. It's an 8-person thing. So there's one person that they haven't mentioned. I don't know if they've got somebody being a surprise.
I can already figure out who it is.
Who?
I know who it is.
Who?
Who have you not said on that list?
I don't know.
Come on, man.
There's loads of people.
Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne hasn't showed up on NXT. He had to give up his half of the tag titles because he was stuck overseas. He's there. He's closer to NXT UK than he would be to come all the way to NXT in Florida and quarantine for 2.5 weeks before he can get back on telly, which they would have done a long ass fucking time ago by now.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, I'm definitely watching that shit, especially if Pete Dunne's there. Yeah.
The second announcement was that Kaylee Ray is going to fight
Piper
Niven in 2 weeks. So not the first episode.
The second episode.
For the title.
I'm all about that. I'm happy to cut out 5 hours of Raw and SmackDown and just watch NXT, and AEW.
Also, Gallus is going to fight Jordan and Williams. Amir Jordan.
Okay.
And Kenny Williams.
Okay.
Not tag titles, just a match.
Oh yeah, Gallus is still champs, huh? They took it off of Grizzled Young Vets, right?
They took it off Flash Morgan and
that's right.
Monsters.
Got you.
But they cut a promo, and Joe wasn't there, and he was part of that speaking out Me Too moment.
That's true.
I don't know if he's done or if it's just. So it's just
he's the best out of the 3, hands down. So if you lose Joe, you need to do something.
So then since it wasn't the first episode, they had 2 matches previously that they've aired before. So it was they showed the I Quit match with Callie Ray and Tony Storm.
Yeah.
And then they also showed Trent Seven versus Walter.
Oh,
it was fun. It's a good time. I'd forgotten about that match. It
was
right
45-minute match.
No. That was
that headline takeover. UK?
No. That was with the other Mustache Mountain.
Oh, Trent Seven.
Yeah, Trent Seven's the
Chucky one, not Tyler Bate.
Yeah,
got you.
That was from, I think it was the Download Festival they did. It was after Tyler Bate got beat up and he got hospitalized. Trent Seven was like, "I'll fight you." It's a good, solid match. Hard.
And it's in front of a crowd.
It's in front of a crowd too.
Yeah.
So next week is the first episode back. They're gonna record in the studios in London. The way it looks like set up, they showed videos on the episode. It looks like there's going to be a crowd.
Small crowd.
But I think it's going to be other wrestlers again. No plexiglass though.
Well, the COVID situation in England is not as dire as it is here, right?
I mean, they just went back into lockdown.
Oh, fuck me.
So who knows?
Because here in Texas, they're opening shit back up. Dynamo and Dash are going to have 15% capacity. 23%. A part of me thinks that WWE is crazy enough that they're going to go through with their commitment, and I think we're going to have Survivor Series in Dallas in front of a 20% capacity, probably.
Maybe.
Yeah. If you can get revenue on the road.
Oh yeah.
Other than instead of being in the Thunderdome in front of nobody's, I'm pretty sure they're going to go through it. The quicker they can go back to some kind of normalcy in their business, the quicker they do it.
If they're doing smart, they'll take Thunderdome on the road. They'll do
have like maybe a couple of hundred on the floor, people, and then keep the cameras.
You can't There's no way you can keep that. There's no way because like Dynamo, they're spreading everybody out. If you buy a ticket to a Dynamo game, there's going to be 3 to 4 seats around you with nobody near you for like in a circle.
Nice, just like at the theater.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's no way that you can't do that on the floor. There's no way you can have one fan, and then
look at Japan. Japan's had them on the floor, but they're spread out.
They're smarter about,
and they've always been that way.
Yeah.
As far as masking up and shit, we're very individualist.
So
you're right.
I think if they're smart, they'll take it on the road and maybe bring in a couple fans, but plus the Dynamo they're gonna have. They're only on the top bowl.
Nice.
Nobody's gonna be down.
That's good.
Like that.
Players won't get sick.
Well, I mean,
the risk for the players to get sick is probably going to be around each other, not from the audience, because the audience is going to be too far away, and it's open. So that's smart.
But yeah, so that's it. UK is coming back next week, which I'll be watching.
I'm actually very excited for that.
Yeah,
something fresh.
I'm doing Tuesday NXT if it's on Tuesday, or is it back on Wednesday now?
Depending on the scheduling for the playoffs between NXT has to deal with the NHL playoffs. AEW has to deal with the NBA playoffs.
That's the one thing that this whole thing it's also hurting AEW is the fact that on Wednesday they were like, well, it could be Wednesday, but if it goes to Game 6, it could be Thursday. But then they're also talking about doing a midnight episode or something. They're releasing something at midnight. So it's like, okay, well then if I'm watching on Wednesday and it's not on, I gotta wait till Thursday. Well, I got plans on Thursday.
Or by then, everyone already knows. Our Twitter feed, my Facebook, your Twitter already know what's going on.
Yeah, so it's one of those things. It's like, man, like y'all just need it. It just sucks. Basketball obviously makes more money than.
That's COVID, because right now we wouldn't have basketball right now in September. Basketball would have been done by July, so it's COVID.
That's fair.
You want to shit on WWE real quick?
Sure. I mean, I'd be having shit on them.
Are you interested in Roman against Jey Uso?
Yeah.
Night of Champions for the Universal
when is this
heavyweight title?
The 27th or something like that. So like the end of the month. I mean, it's obvious who wins. There's no way that Uso.
I would think this is building up to a bigger story.
But yeah, why not? Yeah, I like the Usos. I like Jimmy and Jay. They're but at the same time, like they always say that like best friends and brothers sometimes don't always have the best matches.
Yeah.
So it could be a shit show, but I mean, it's Roman.
But I think the match might not. The way you said that, there's possible that the match might not live up to. Let me go backwards. I think the story that they can present us between the family aspect of Roman and Jay will build the anticipation to a point that the match is not going to live up to. Because I'm looking forward to fucking Jimmy and Roman. Story wise, I'm ready. I don't know when he went. He just. Oh, speak of the devil. Shit, we got another hour, bro. What's up, man?
What's going on, dude?
What'd you bring?
I got beers. I got weed. I got everything you need to survive.
We're just on the YouTube.
Yeah.
But we're
almost done.
It's not live though, so it's just us talking shit. We mentioned you.
Yeah, we talked about you earlier.
Hell
Yeah.
My words of wisdom.
Yeah, we're talking about how that dude jumped off the top rope.
It slipped.
Remember on Saturday?
I told you, dude, this dude's gonna do a badass flip, and then he ate it.
That was awesome, dude. And Matt Hardy, dude, like that was all yeah. People were pissed off.
You want to play Tony Hawk while we're finished recording?
Yeah.
All right, let me put that on.
I'm not editing any of this out. I'm leaving all this in. This is B-roll.
Dude, the shorts that I wore the other night, I was like, I'm low on weed, so. But I put these shorts on.
You had weed in there?
Boom. I was like,
Good thing you didn't wash those shorts.
Water down.
I mean, so
Soapy weed.
I would have dried it out. I would have smoked it anyway.
Okay, I got a hair dryer.
It's in a plastic bag.
I got a hair dryer somewhere.
Fuck it. Yeah. I mean, you ingest plastics all the time, man. You know?
That's true.
He ingests a lot of shit all the time.
Yeah.
That is also true.
My dude compared to you, I mean, you're like 100%. My character.
Oh yeah.
Should I work on my I'll work on my shit.
I got all the levels now too, so.
I know, I heard your voices over here, so I was like,
We're having a heart-to-heart, man.
I mean, this is a cool spot.
I got the camera and the mic, and then there's, you can see it. That's our quality. You can see it.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
See?
Dude, that's badass.
Paisley knocked the camera.
Oh,
so.
Paisley.
Yeah, look, dude. Here's the alien.
Oh, yeah. That's Roswell.
Look at this rock. Look at this little fucking cock right there.
Damn, dude.
And I got Dan Bones.
Oh, now you want to sit next to me, huh?
Right, look, I changed it. Look.
Look at all those people.
Okay.
Now you got shorts.
Yeah, that looks.
Look, that's you right there.
If you want to tweak it, you can.
I like it.
Yeah.
Let's go to skate.
You don't want to hang out with me. You just want to eat, huh?
One or two, level 1 or 2. Yeah. Also, look, if you go on there, see, it'll tell you how many stat points there are. So the first level, you need to get 2, 3. You already got 10. So
First stat points.
that's what you need to collect. Those little shiny things. So the first one.
Oh, the first character. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first level. When you
Lay down. Lay down.
It's right here. Oh, here we go. Okay, perfect. Let's run on that pole. You know, right here. Go left. Right there. See it?
Oh, yeah.
So you gotta collect those.
Okay.
So every level tells you how many you have and how many you need.
Hey, were you sitting right here, Chris?
No.
No, we've been over here.
Or what?
No,
You sit wherever.
Okay.
Go get him. Go get him.
What if I cough? Like, I don't want to interrupt. Like,
You're
I'm
good,
good,
man. Don't worry about it.
You're good.
Alright. It's like recording music or some shit.
I'm going to break out the ukulele in a minute.
It's in my closet.
Congo's over?
What's her name?
Huh?
Hey, when we record shit, we should just have you in the background playing, like really softly, and then if we make a joke, go boom.
I mean, yeah, I can like attach a symbol to like Congo's or something. I'd be like, you know?
That'd be fucking great. All right.
What's worse? Raw Underground or Retribution?
What the hell is Retribution? Oh, that group. Never mind. That's how stupid. That's how shit I don't even remember. You know what? I haven't watched Raw fully in months. I haven't watched SmackDown fully. I've seen snippets and stuff like that. I don't care about Underground, and I don't care about Retribution.
I made it pretty easy.
Yeah. What about you? You watch this stuff. I'm here to talk AEW.
I'm starting to. I tried because it's background noise. That sometimes when I can't sleep, I have it on and I fall asleep.
I did see Dominic do that sliding sunset flip. Did you see
that powerbomb through the table with Murphy?
That was cool.
He's coming along,
cool.
man.
Yeah, I saw a couple of people online talking shit about how
he skipped developmental and got.
But dude, it's fucking Rey Mysterio's kid.
Yeah,
they've been doing it for. He's been in the wrestling ring his entire life.
15 years at least.
How old is he?
SummerSlam was 2005 with Ray and Eddie.
Yeah, but how old is Dominic?
He's got to be 20, 21,
yeah,
22. Yeah, something like that.
What else you want to shit on?
That's it. The only thing that's if you want to shit on something else, it's been that kind of night, huh? We're just shitting on everything tonight. How about the Did you stick around for the announcement from Cody after Dynamite? I hope that didn't glitch. I need to make a gif of that. The Go Big Show.
America's Got Extreme Talent.
Redneck America's Got Talent. Yeah, that's
all it is. I could give two shits. Snoop Dogg, Rosario Dawson, and Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
with Burt Burnett as the the host.
I recently saw one of his stand-ups.
He's funny.
He's funny as shit.
Listen to him when he goes to Russia with a school.
Oh,
that's the best story. He takes a Russian class in school, and at the end of the course, he go to Russia, and so he's supposed to have learned Russian. And then he goes on a train, and he pretty much meets the mob, and he starts hanging out with the mob. It's good. It's fucking solid. It's a solid episode. It's solid. It's one of his early ones. But yeah, so he goes.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a good story. If I'm not doing anything and it's on TV, I might watch it. But I'm not watching. I'm not going out of my way.
They have Monster Truck, so I have to watch the Monster Truck episode. We need a lot more Evil Knievels in the world, man.
That's what America's Got Talent's for.
Yeah.
Is this why he's not on TV? This is why he dropped the belt so he could record fucking this shit?
Yeah. Hey, brand exposure. That's another 30 minutes or an hour that he can get to plug Dynamite. They got 1 million viewers this week. 1.0.
Because of Cody doing
because a lot of shit. A lot of bad shit. We'll see if we can hold it. If they can hold it for next week.
I'm not gonna.
I'm pretty sure they're not. Just because we don't even know what fucking day of the week they're gonna be on next week. But
it's a mess, man. Basketball's throwing it in there. It's a mess.
Yeah. Man, that's it.
That's it.
He said he's got more beer. I'm still thirsty, so we just finish these.
Yeah.
Call it a show. Bottoms up.
Oh man. All right. Wait.
There we go. Oh, native Texan, huh?
Patrick's off camera. My neighbor's off camera chugging the beer.
Shotgunning. That's it. I'm not sure we're gonna do another episode until the preview for Night of Champions. If you want to watch Night of Champions, or if you want to just shit on everything on that show too, we could do that too.
No, I'm willing to give shows
a chance.
Down. I don't watch Raw and SmackDown, but I give the show. I watch.
So you don't watch Raw and SmackDown, but you're gonna be on a preview episode for a pay-per-view from episodes of television you haven't seen.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds about right.
I'm in the review. I'll review it.
All right, that's it. So until next time, for Abel, adios, my friends. Keep it classy.
Toodles. That's his line.
Yeah,
he does the toodles part, but his counterpart does the